Hey, Elaine.
Hi, Beth. How are you?
Good. I love the laughter.
I know.
It cracks me up every time.
hmm
Every time. Oh, let's I think maybe take a minute. We're going to be talking about inviting peace into your life, so maybe like we should start with
I like that.
so let's just, take a minute. It's been a long day, right, for both
Yep.
of us.
Yep.
And maybe we just need to take a breath, take a beat,
hmm
invite some peace. Oh, woof. Yeah.
Yeah. I needed that.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Big breath. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hurry up, let's get here. Let's talk about peace. And we're not peaceful.
No. But that's kind of like the moral of the story is that it's never peaceful.
Yeah, I wish it was that you could just like achieve peace and stay there forever.
Right.
And it doesn't work that way.
No, not so much. You got to create your own pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. And like, so, like jumping right into it,
hmm
what are some of the things that you do to invite peace, like practices or,
Whew. Um, Meditation would probably be my number one, but that's not always feasible. So
yeah.
I would say like the number one thing is just what we did. Just take a minute, take a big deep breath and
Mhm.
just be intentional about it. Be intentional about bringing in some of that good energy and just letting go of
Yeah.
what needs to be let go of.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like peace is not like you can't, you can remember a time that you felt peace, but
Mhm.
it's such a present moment thing. Like, it's not like, oh, hey, I was peaceful yesterday. So, like, doesn't that count for today? Or,
Right.
I'm going to practice being peaceful tomorrow.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't work that way.
No. And I
It's,
don't think our
it's,
bodies are wired, unfortunately, anymore that way to be peaceful
no,
because we live in
no,
such a chaotic world and a fast moving world that we really do have to retrain ourselves how to be peaceful and how to find those moments.
right. Well, we live in a world where we think that there's a tiger chasing us,
hmm
you know,
Yeah.
and there is no tiger, but the phone dings and you think it's, oh my gosh, I have to answer that right now.
hmm
It's urgent. It's a matter of life and death. No, it isn't.
Right.
I don't need to urgently look at the meme that my friend sent me for,
Right.
you know, and it takes you out of that place of being really here in what
hmm
you're doing and even how you're feeling. Like,
Yeah.
I think that the state of being in your physical body and being grounded
hmm
is something that can bring you peace. Although so many people talk about their pains and their ailments, and they might not actually be feeling it right now,
hmm
if that makes sense. But it
Yeah.
could be like, oh, I have this condition, so I feel this way all the time. Well, like, do you really? I mean,
Right.
I'm not judging, but at the
Right.
same time,
hmm
how bad is it? Is it really a 10? Or is
hmm
it, was it a 10 and now it's like a 2?
Right.
And does taking that breath and bringing you back to that peaceful state
Yeah.
it, reduce the chemicals in the body that take us into chaos,
hmm
you
Because the
know?
cortisol, doesn't that heighten feelings and stuff like that? The
Oh,
anxiety
yeah.
and um I could see where that, yeah, would exacerbate different
Uh-huh.
conditions and stuff like that.
Totally does.
hmm
So, like, the the taking the breath
hmm
is, you talk about, well, not always being able to meditate. Well, you can take 3 breaths,
Yep.
You got
hmm
5 minutes, you got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I remember, I remember my mom, when she was going through her pancreatic cancer, she would I was like, "Can you just sit for a minute. She goes, I can't sit that long. Okay. How about 3 breaths? Can you do
Mhm.
that for me? Can you just and let your shoulders come away from your ears for just those 3 breaths? And it
Right.
was like the hardest thing for her
Cool.
because, I think she probably would have fallen to pieces if she wasn't holding herself so tight. At least she believed that.
Right.
And allowing yourself to settle,
Mhm.
and I mean settle like coming to stillness just for a minute so that you can feel what's going on
Mhm.
is is a powerful tool for peace and awareness, like
Mm.
clarity comes in with just a minute of
Oh, yeah. Yep. But like you brought up, so do those emotions. And sometimes that's what we're avoiding or what's chasing us, and we don't wanna slow down to
yeah,
so it could be avoidance too, the avoidance of
right,
peace.
right. And yet people strive for peace, but they avoid the forest that you have to get to, the
Mhm.
feelings,
Yep.
the stuff, the truth, you
Yeah.
know? Like, I think truth is one aspect that people don't realize, in being truthful and honest with yourself about how you feel or what your fears are, or what is the source of my anxiety? What's the source that's taking me away from my peace? And usually it's you. It's not the other people. It's what
Yeah.
you think about the other people or what you think about the
Yeah.
situation.
What your head is creating, what,
Oh,
you're
yes.
replaying those conversations or the what ifs or what if this
Yeah.
person thinks this thing? And yeah,
Ugh,
I
I'm
know.
exhausted just running through these things. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so much.
Yeah.
Oh, and what are your triggers? Like, let's get all the dirty bits out of the way in the beginning here.
I like that. Yeah.
Triggers are something that
Mhm.
can take you out of a peaceful place.
Yeah.
And the key to mastering and changing those things is knowing what they are,
Mhm. And confronting them, naming them. I feel like
naming
naming
them.
the
Yeah.
feelings and the triggers and realizing them, being honest, like you said, the truth
Yeah.
takes their power away and it kind
Yeah.
of brings
And
it down.
it does. I had a teacher once that she would go, "Up, there it is. I'm doing it again. It's right there." "Oh, look at me. I want to run away." That's one of my
Mhm.
things. When things get hard, I want to run away. "Oh, look at me," she would say. And then she would laugh at herself because it would take the like you said, it would take the power away from the trigger, the
Yep.
wanting to run.
Mhm.
Oh,
It really does make it silly at some point when you realize what set you off and how little sometimes it is and how insignificant, you
uh-huh.
know, to everything else those little triggers are.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Huh. Taking another breath, coming
Yes.
down to this peaceful place.
All right. So we're confronting, we're facing, we're feeling. What do we do after? How do we bring in more of that peace?
Well, I think setting intentions
Mhm.
and creating practices around focusing on the piece. So it could be one of our crystal friends shows up as an ally. That's going to be a touchstone, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
like I'm losing my shit. Excuse me. I need to calm down. I am
Mhm.
going to reach over and grab a little ally here and say,
Yeah.
the idea of worry stones and worry beads is
Mhm.
exactly that.
Yep.
It's that tactile.
And grounding into that feeling too. I feel like that's a huge part of it too. Like you said in the beginning, grounding your energy. Because
Yeah.
usually when we have anxiety, we're way up. up in our
Mhm.
heads. We're replaying stuff. We're not fully in our body. We're not grounded. So grabbing a crystal or something like that, or even, the fidget toys, just having
Right.
something to physically put your energy into and be intentional
Mhm.
about grounding whatever it is that's
Yeah.
in your head in whatever you're holding in your hand.
Right. And seeing you do that with your hand, pulling your hands together. Okay, I hear Mr. Miyagi in my head going, "Focus."
There you
It's
go. Yep.
like,
Focus your
yeah,
energy. Yeah.
it is that it is focus is an important part
Mhm.
of being in that peaceful place because you're focusing on
Yep.
the calm. You're
Mhm.
inviting that in. You're focusing on the crystal or the fidget toy, but you're
Yep.
bringing your awareness into a point and you're narrowing your focus,
Mhm.
you know? And so that allows you to kind of let all that other stuff fall away.
Yes.
Yeah. As I listen to Fiona chewing on a bone here, okay, it's like, what are my triggers? Those kinds of sounds when I'm like,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
It's
Recenter.
and she's trying to find her peace.
Mhm.
She's doing the self-soothing, so that is not a bad thing.
No.
Bless,
Mhm.
bless. Well, I think that, that idea that peace isn't a final destination. It's not like a goal to achieve and that you stay there.
Right.
Um, if that were only true, I
Mhm.
think that we would
Yeah.
live in a much more peaceful world.
Right. But
Um,
unfortunately, that's not, for whatever reason, what our souls signed up for. They signed up for this.
no, yeah, yeah. And then there's that trust factor. You have to trust yourself
Mhm.
in your ability to handle whatever's showing up.
Yep.
And you have to be honest with yourself of, you know, how much are you creating the chaos in your own life?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um, I'm coming back to, I think I said it in another podcast, maybe, but it's this phrase that comes from one of my dear friends, Gloria Karpinski, who passed away recently. She used to say, be careful of the seduction of the familiar
Mhm.
because you want to stay in what's familiar, even if it's the chaos, the drama, the anxiety, the
Yep.
gossipy stuff. There is so much business that I don't need to know that takes me out of my peace.
Mhm.
And yet,
I agree.
it's kind of like driving by the car accident on the highway. Excuse me, but why does traffic slow down? It's because people are looking because they
Mhm.
got to see what's over there.
Right. Yep.
No, you don't.
Mhm.
Just keep walking. Just keep
Mhm.
swimming.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
stay in your lane. There would be so much more peace if we did that.
Yeah, there would be. For focusing on ourselves and what brings us joy instead of what brings the chaos.
Yeah. And so I would say that what are the practices? Like we talked about, you mentioned meditation,
Mhm.
but I would even say self Reiki
Mhm.
is a practice that you could call in to kind of quiet the chaos
Yes.
and bring your attention to something that is so much greater than yourself.
Mhm. Yeah. Reiki helps to focus that energy for me. So if
Hmm.
if I only have 2 minutes to take a couple deep breaths, when I'm
Yeah.
taking the deep breath, I'm calling in the Reiki. I'm calling the Reiki into usually in through my heart, and then my heart
Right.
fills the rest of me. So
Yeah.
it's like a breath on steroids, like the good energy on steroids, just
Yeah. Yeah.
bringing it all in, amplifying it. So,
Hmm.
yeah, definitely Reiki helps a lot when it comes to that.
Right. And then the idea too of surrender.
Mhm.
So, you know, peace doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be passive. Like peace to me is an active state, even
Mhm.
though because it's a place of acceptance, right?
Right.
So while that sounds contradictory a little bit, but it is an active, powerful, almost, there's a word that wants to come in. It's gone. There's, oh, this is really funny. It's just like every time, it's like right there.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens. Like, I can feel it.
Yeah, but it's that activism kind of thing. Like you're not a pacifist just because you're looking for peace.
Mhm.
You can be intentional about the things that you believe in, and you can stand up for those things, but you don't have to do it in a confrontational, disruptive kind of way that is creating chaos in others.
Right. Like, your boundaries for peace. It doesn't have anything to
Mhm.
do with anybody else.
Right.
It's what you set for yourself to create your own peace.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it's not about being, like, in your face, "This is what I believe. This is what I feel." Like, you can have strong morals and strong convictions without, like, setting everything ablaze.
Yeah,
You can
exactly.
do it in a peaceful way for yourself. But still, I don't know, there is a word, it's like a what is it?
Okay.
That's so funny. Like, I went to go say
Yeah,
it and it just slipped away.
right. Well, I think about like walking in nature. Okay, that is one place that I find, that is a practice for me that I find peace.
Mhm,
Now, part of what I'm doing there too, though, is trying to set the intention and send peace into the world,
mhm,
into the ground, help healing and that kind of thing by working with Reiki, being mindful, setting my
mhm.
intentions. But that is an active, peaceful practice.
Right.
So there is act activism. That's still
It's
not
like
the word.
peace and action, they sound opposite, action and
Uh-huh.
peace, but there's a way to blend them together.
Yeah, yeah. And
Peace doesn't have to
so,
be just stillness. And we talk about this a lot, like in our classes. It's not just about like meditating, closing your eyes and zenning out for 20 minutes.
yeah,
You can find peace everywhere in all the
right,
moments. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're running, running is very active, but it can bring a lot of people peace. It can bring them, that calming feeling. Like you walking in nature, it's active, but it's still peaceful.
right. Ah, it's funny. I wrote down on my notes here, peace may not be Zen. And you just said that. You just, basically said, I'm like, hey,
Nice.
that's over here. Well, and then there's this active part of being at peace
Hmm.
with where you are in your life, where you're going, what's going on in the world around you that maybe you can influence, maybe you can't.
Hmm.
As long as you are living your authentic self or working your best to get there,
Yeah.
you have to be at peace with what you're doing and how you're doing it and the step that you're taking to achieve fill in the blank, whatever that is.
Hmm.
Uh, but being at peace with choice too
Hmm.
uh, is another one of the ways to interpret, not second guessing yourself on decisions that you make. And I think part of what happens in our culture is that maybe we want to do something, maybe we want to live a certain way, work a certain job, and we don't because what are the neighbors going to say? You know, it's not enough money. It's too much time. It's Our
Mhm.
expectations of what other people will think about what we're doing actually affect our inner peace and our ability to achieve that state of being at peace with our
Mhm.
life.
Authenticity.
Yeah.
That brings peace.
Well, and expectations of outcome is another part that disrupts peace. We may have said that in
Mhm.
this, but like attachment to what's really going to happen. If I do this, then,
Mhm. Yeah.
but the then might not be what I think the then is.
No.
And that definitely takes away from peace.
Yes.
If I think it's going to go a certain way.
Mhm.
Now, that might be leading into another topic that we're going to talk about soon. But
Yeah. No, but it's a big one. It's a big the whole process, trusting and peace, and it's difficult. It's difficult to find that I wanna say balance, but it's more than that. It's
Mhm. Finding
finding that inner voice, inner intuition, um, for yourself,
right.
and that's to
Well,
me where peace comes from.
what are you watering? We off offline here we talked about your little plant behind you.
Yeah.
What are you watering?
Mhm.
Because that's what's getting the attention, that's what's getting the energy, that's what's getting the fuel.
Mhm.
And if you want peace in your life, then that's what you have to water.
Mhm.
That's where you have to, how am I going to achieve that? I'm going to give it some attention.
Yep.
I'm going to create some practices. I'm going to connect with Reiki. I'm going to do, just, bringing your hands together in Gasho is such a powerful pause, and it doesn't have to be an hour,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. We hear that so much, I feel like, in our classes and in our groups, and I don't have time. I don't you know, the kids and all that stuff, and believe me, I get it. But like you said, if you don't make time for it,
Uh-huh.
then it's not gonna come. There's never
Right.
going to be time. There's never gonna be the perfect time. It's you have to create those little moments for yourself.
Yeah.
You have to water those little moments, and I see, like, a literal watering can, like, watering the chaos
Oh,
or
yeah.
watering the
Yeah.
peace. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more like for the chaos, you take that match and you throw it on her,
Yeah, that too.
it's
Yeah.
a little bit of
Mhm.
water can put that little chaos out,
Mhm. Yep.
if you bring in the peace. Oh, well,
Mhm.
I guess I want to end this with a challenge, you
Okay.
know, a peace challenge.
So from homework to challenge?
Yeah, well,
I
I
like it.
mean, that would be the little spiciness in there.
Mhm.
You got to make it a game almost sometimes.
Yeah.
Homework is a drudgery.
It's true. I do like
Challenge,
challenge. Yep.
see, challenge.
Mhm.
It's like game on. Come on, all right. What are you bringing me?
Yep.
Um, and now I'm going. What am I bringing you? I want our listeners to take what 3 breaths every hour that are just focused on
Mhm.
peace.
Mhm.
Just 3
Mhm.
in an hour. Start with 3. And
Yeah.
I'm seeing my mom. I'm seeing my mom's face going, I can't do that. But just 3.
Mhm.
3 inhales, 3 exhales. The little
Mhm.
transition there, that is not a lot of time.
No.
And
I like
see
that.
what happens.
Mhm.
And let us know what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Find
a
us
cool
on
little
Yeah,
experiment.
find us on social. I'm sorry, I'm talking over you today. See, I'm
It's
not even peaceful here. So let me
You had a long day. Mm.
I'm going to do my own take 3 breaths right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. More. And that felt really good.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Mm-hmm.
Just 3.
Yep.
That's it. Easy
All right.
peasy mac and cheesy.
I like it.
All right. Well, find the peace. Be the
Yes.
peace.
Mm-hmm. Let us know if you did your breaths.
That's
If
right.
it worked. Yeah. All right.
Until next time, I
Until
guess,
next
right?
time.